So here on The Chosen Sleuth, we're really interested in anything in the Christian media world, specifically TV shows. I'm not as interested in the movie side of things, as TV shows allow us to really dive deep into some scripture and into biblical understanding in a much deeper way than, let's say, a movie would. So the next series that I am most excited about is called Testament. And of course, we've talked about Testament a couple of different times, but I think this episode today will give you a really good idea of what we're looking at when it comes to Testament. And we're going to look at the behind the scenes of the first few weeks of filming for the show, as they've been coming out with weekly updates of the behind the scenes that they shot earlier on this year. Now, we expect Testament to release early next year. We don't have an exact date yet. However, we will definitely update you guys when it comes to that. So let's jump into this and look at some of these behind the scenes kind of clips here as we jump through. So let's start with this one.
Ahoy.
Hi there. You've caught me covering the floor. Take a look around. You'll see an absolutely gorgeous Art Deco sort of design space. So we've got the maestro at work.
So this is the director of photography. On The Chosen, we know that Akis Konstantinopoulos is the director of photography. In other words, he's the person that kind of makes sure all the cameras are pointing in the right direction. They have the right lighting. They have all the right, organization. So James Duncan is the main kind of camera guy. You can think of him that way for the Testament here, for Testament.
He is not to be messed with when it comes to cinematography. Look at him. He's across all bases, covering them like a dream, like a superstar. So this is Saul of Tarsus. Wave hello.
So we're going to see him a little bit later on, so I won't point him out too much, but this is Saul of Tarsus, who eventually becomes Paul. So obviously a major character within the book of Acts. And I didn't say this. In case anybody's interested in what this show is for the future, this is a modern day retelling of the book of Acts set in a modern day UK type era, okay? They kind of overlap a couple of different eras of history altogether, but it is a more modern day. Think less 2024, probably more in the early 2000s to late 1900s, something in that era. It's kind of a movable time frame here. You kind of get what I'm talking about as we go through these videos, but Saul, of course, is going to be a major player within the book of Acts, obviously.
So much talent in one room. It's a pleasure to be this close to such a large quantity of talent.
Saul has
This is Gamaliel. We'll see him a little bit later as well, but Gamaliel is the teacher of Paul, obviously in the scriptures. We see that he was a student of Gamaliel, learned from him. Most likely, Saul or Paul was part of the Sanhedrin, which is why we're seeing him here as part of this group of what is called ministers in this show. And this is the Great Sanhedrin, essentially, in the modern day sense.
wonderful naivety. So he has this innate quality of ambition within the.
I love how he put his hand in the bag but didn't take anything out, or I don't know what happened there.
Sanhedrin, the Grand Sanhedrin.
Compete with the great Gamaliel, who's master of the law.
That's what we say. That's what they say. It's much better.
Gamaliel's always playing a little bit of the game of chess.
Yeah.
So he's giving a little bit of news, and they've done a different move that he didn't expect. And it's like,
What I'm doing is I'm pursuing the newly appointed minister Ananias.
It's not good enough. You can do better.
So these are all the ministers here. So this is the Great Sanhedrin. Some of these are named characters. A lot of these people won't have lines, obviously. But what's cool about these costumes is each of the colors that's on them, I think, indicates what sect they're from. So like the purple means different than the light purple, means different than the green. And so they're all from different sects here, whether that's Sanhedrin or Sadducee versus Pharisee versus maybe Herodians or maybe something else. So yeah, interesting stuff. I'm really looking forward to diving into this show and being able to dissect things in a new way than we've done previously.
Because I want the best team. I'm going to be playing Minister Ananias. Really good role. Best role in the whole thing.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
So Minister Ananias, pretty cool part there. Solomon Israel.
This is where I will be sitting. This is nice.
Yeah. Be like, this is power. This is power.
Basically, what we're trying to do is keep control of a situation.
Minister John here. Of course, this is a biblical character as far as we know. We don't really know anybody in the Sanhedrin named John, I don't think. But yeah, another character here.
That is getting notoriously out of control. We're having to bear witness and judge people who are causing what we would consider a bit of trouble.
And we're going to sort him out. We've got about 6.
So this is Caiaphas. So currently he is the high priest, but then after Caiaphas will come Ananias, and Solomon Israel is the guy who's playing that guy. So we'll see kind of that transition that happens over this series, I'm sure, as Caiaphas has kind of moved out and Ananias has moved in.
56 Sanhedrin elected ministers, both on the Sadducees and the Pharisees.
Hi there, I'm Martin. I play Minister Annas. Philip Roche.
So that's Annas, who is the son of, or no, he's the father-in-law of Caiaphas.
I'm playing Minister Alexander.
We're the ministers.
Yeah,
That's right, yeah, we're playing ministers.
I'm playing one of the ministers.
And it's quite a crowd today.
81 supporting artists in today. So my role is essentially just to make sure that whatever Paul, the director, wants.
So this is Paul. I was going to point him out later, but Paul Serstad, he is kind of the main guy. You can imagine him as the Dallas Jenkins of Testament, okay? So he is a much younger guy, but he is very, very cool. I've met him in person once, and we've talked on video calls and stuff several different times. Looking forward to seeing how he handles all of this. I've heard so far that the writing of this show is very good. Of course, him, as well as two of his co-writers, one being his wife and then the other being his brother-in-law, help him to write the show. And I've heard they've done some really, really amazing stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing it for sure.
I make it happen. Faster, more aggressive, shouting, no pointing. I always say to the supporting artists that they are their own main characters in their background story.
The dialogue is so fantastic, and all the actors giving it everything they have.
And obviously I'll be the best because I'm Minister Ananias. Yeah.
It's great, lovely team. I know Gary, who plays my boss. We were at the RSC together many years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, really? You were in Game of Thrones?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Wait, who are you playing in that?
It's in the first season.
Oh, wow.
Taught Arya Stark how to fight.
So apparently he's saying that he was in Game of Thrones in the first season. Never watched that show. I've just heard debaucherous things, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see real, true actors being on this set. Also, I've heard nothing but good things about the actors who play these characters. So very, very cool stuff. All right, that's the end of that one. Let's jump back. Let me go over to our next episode. And we're going to look at, starting on week 1, we're going to jump into these recaps for Testament and jump into what this looked like for filming back in week 1, which was several months ago at this point.
Follow me to the wonders of Testament. Don't actually follow me, just look around. Today is day 1, so we've got lots of team down there, people walking around, actors getting ready upstairs. It's an exciting day. It's a bit nerve-wracking, not gonna lie.
You mentioned you're playing Saul's.
So this is a really interesting character. This is the first time I've heard of this character in the show. So this is Eliza, who is Saul's sister. Now, of course, we don't know if Saul had a sister or not. We don't know what his family structure was, but this is such a unique addition that is plausible that could make a lot of difference into understanding Saul's character overall as Eliza's introduced. So I'm really looking forward to this, as it's an angle that I don't think I've ever seen anybody do before when it comes to the story of Saul. So yeah, really, really cool stuff.
Sister.
Yes, Eliza. They're sort of both testing the waters of how much
I love that set, by the way.
They can banter with each other. You know, brother and sister have banter, but they haven't seen each other for a while.
Shall we give it a little stumble through and fail upwards?
Yeah, okay.
Just exciting.
Yeah, I love that set. Just feels like, you know, a UK apartment. Like, feels like, you know, a little family get together, you know, where they're having dinner or something. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be such good character development throughout all of this. And hey, real quick, if you're enjoying this video, a great free way to help is just to watch the rest of this video all the way to the end of the video if you can. And then if you really like us, you can watch another video after that. This will tell the YouTube algorithm that you like our channel and that our channel is good enough to share with other people. And it would really, really help us out. But if you want to go above and beyond, you can go to snipesupport.com and pledge $5, $10, or $25 a month and really help us out on a consistent basis to put out more videos just like this. Anyway, let's get back to the video. And it's going to be cool to see season 1 in general, just to see where it's going to go from there. I'm really, really hoping for good things from this series.
Really, it's been a long time coming, and I think after the read-throughs, everyone was really excited. Actually getting here is just so exhilarating.
You're going to be on set with Asher today.
I'm excited.
Are you excited?
I'm excited. Do you know what? That might be my son.
But Mom, we'll talk about it later. Hello guys, my name is Tani Joshi.
So Eliza has a son named Asher, and so that's who is going to be in the show as well, right here.
And I'm playing the role of Asher in Testament. He's like a boy who wants to get stuff done, and he can be cheeky at times.
You did fantastic, well done.
Thank you so much. The whole day was really fun. I loved the energy of the crew, and it was so nice and nurturing.
Thank you so much. Phenomenal. See you at the Oscars. Exactly.
We have to
see you at the Oscars. So if you look right next to Paul, who is the director in the yellow beanie, you can see his brother-in-law with the red lettering on his shirt. That's Kenneth. And so Kenneth is one of the other writers of the show, but he's also playing John, the Apostle John. So a pretty big role in the show. He's a great actor. He played in the original Testament movie, which is on angel.com if you want to go watch that. Yeah, really, really cool stuff with him as well. I'm glad that it's kind of like a family unit, you know, who's creating the show overall. So I wonder how that's going to play into things as well.
This phrase that I keep on using with people, Vego Zici, which is let's all fail upwards. Because I think as soon as we start striving to be like, oh, we've got to get it perfect, we've got to get it right, that's when, you know, pressure mounts in a way that's not healthy, and a way that actually isn't great for the, you know, artistic way of doing things. So we're not only a part of the story, but we're a part of the telling. And for us as filmmakers, every single department, we get to be part of telling a story together.
Us as the second unit are about to go out and shoot our first scenes, which is exciting and nerve-wracking. So we're just prepping the kit to get ready to go, and then hopefully have a great shoot just down the road outside Eliza's house. Yeah, or is it better to give you a different eye?
A fantastic group of people.
Yeah, I just think the scenes in this show have the potential to just be so grandiose and different than The Chosen. So I'm looking forward to it for sure. Here's Gamaliel again.
That Paul, Jackie and the team have assembled. It's a company that feels like we're all on the same page. We all want to tell a story, get that story told in the best way we can.
Nice office. It's nice, isn't it? I'm going to try and get you a bigger desk. I think you have a...
I hope so.
Yes.
So today we are fast forwarding right into the thick of episode 6.
So it's kind of quite weird.
So we're going to get some sort of moment with Gamaliel in episode 6. We don't know much more than that yet, but we see that here. They're going to be talking about here about shooting out of order, just like The Chosen does. The Chosen has gotten more linear now to where they can kind of shoot episodically, go through episode 1 through 8 kind of in order. However, in a show like this, where you're only getting certain locations at certain times, and you have to kind of rent out these spaces or make sure that they're empty or different things like that, you're going to have to shoot things out of order. So in this first week, they're shooting episode 6 near the end of the season, and so it's got to be super confusing to do that as well.
We're jumping in fairly near the end of the show.
So you have to think, you know, what's gone before.
So what I'm trying to do is think of what shots we're going to be doing there. You know where it's going, you know, yeah.
You know trajectory. Exactly.
So editing that scene, which we haven't shot yet, before we have shot this one.
I guess that's the challenge of doing it out of sync.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I'm cool, you know, is tired or working on someone else. I might jump in and just say, you're doing a great job. It's not motivation. Yeah. I was so lost until he...
So that's Ananias again. And then we see Saul behind him. So probably in the Sanhedrin, like the Torah room, something akin to that here. The religious library of some sort where they're both doing their studies.
I'm just excited to see it all come together. I'm excited. I want to be able to see more performances. I'd like to spend a bit more time watching the monitor, and I think we're about to get told off because I think they're about to get a take.
Action!
These people are so British, dude. I know I've got some UK people in the audience. I love you guys very much. It's just so different than America and how we speak and how we do things. It's just so interesting to see the differences there. They're so British.
This whole show is trying to balance like something old and something new.
When people think of like biblical re-storytelling, you don't think contemporary, but this is quite contemporary and it's quite suited to today's society.
The story is so interesting. And I think people are going to fall in love with the characters. I have.
Yeah, it's going to be a good day. Last day of the week. It's been a great week. And get to act with this incredible woman. So, yeah, man.
So that's Mara. I don't think they talk about her too much, Yasmin Page, but she is like one of the temple guard. So she is, I think, one of the more main characters in terms of like the enemy side sort of thing. So she's probably working with Saul to hunt down Christians would be my guess.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
That's the season wrap on Solomon. Whee!
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Thanks,
No.
And then at the end of these episodes, just really quickly, we get a little bit of a sneak peek of what they've been working on, a little bit of kind of looks at what's been filmed. So we see this first shot, looks really good. This is in Eliza's house, I guess, where she's talking with Saul, looking over. Just looks really, really good. I love the lighting in this shot, kind of the deep night shot here. So cool. Then we get this shot of, I almost called him Solomon because that's his real name, Ananias in his office looking at something as well. And then we get, I'm not sure who this is. I think this might be one of the apostles kind of waking up in a bed here. We don't have all the names of all the apostles and who they play yet. So I don't have like an actors list of all the actors yet. Although we've seen most of them, we don't have names for most of them and who they're playing yet. So cool stuff. Let's go to our next one here. We've got 2 more weeks to go through and we'll look through
I'm just filming
these as well. Let's jump back and here we go.
I'm just filming.
Yep.
Okay.
So we are on week 2 of filming Testament, the series, and we are at quite an iconic location because this is where we filmed Testament, the Parables Retold, the film that inspired the series. So quite iconic, quite cool location that looks really good and on and off screen.
We're going to be coming in to these positions, all right?
You guys are representing the temple guards.
Yeah, this is one area where I think the show could fall flat. So the temple guard are kind of like the policemen, right, of the religious authority. Okay, so you have like the Roman guard who are all like in red kind of armor. Then you have the temple guard who are more like policemen wearing kind of gear like that. This is the one thing that I'm worried about with the show because I don't know if it's going to come off as super cheesy or if it's going to work. I really hope that it works. However, I could see it becoming sort of cheesy because it's a modern day show with a lot of modern day elements. However, for example, like the temple guard have like shields and batons and they have like swords and stuff instead of using like modern weapons. So it's like it's an interesting amalgamation of these eras coming together, but this is the one area I'm worried about with the show. So I really hope this turns out well. I just can't judge it yet, not seeing the first season. So I really hope it works out.
I am the best looking. Say that again one more time, and then look at me, please. Where does that leave me? If you're the best looking guy here, then what am I? Oliver, help me. Help me understand what's going on. What's me?
Under the Roman Empire. Do you reckon you could take them in a fight?
Oh, most definitely. Straight action. We don't talk.
Yeah.
Straight action.
Good. Now a little bit more movement, yeah?
So it's, as far as I know, it's the first.
So this is the fight choreographer Christos Dante. So I assume this show is going to have way more action than The Chosen will. The Chosen, of course, is getting to more action as they're going to arrest Jesus and doing all that stuff. But this, I think, is going to have a lot more action because the whole premise of Acts is that these Christians are running away from the authorities. They're running away from the people that want to kill them constantly, right? So there should be way more action here in this show, would be my guess.
Fight sequence of the series.
First fight scene.
Nice.
Not done it yet.
I was not supposed to flinch at that. Sorry. Cameraman, did I flinch then?
He said, did I flinch?
Pressure's on for this guy. He's got to try and beat me up. But
He's got a big mouth.
So we're doing a very...
Oh, really? I must have forgot that. Patty, thank you for that. Patty says, Acts 23:16 states that Paul had a sister and a nephew. I guess I never thought about that. Maybe I haven't read Acts in a long time. Maybe I should reread Acts, huh? Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you for the clarification. As always, I get things wrong all the time. So if I'm wrong about something, leave it in the comments. And hopefully I can bring it up like Patty's. Thank you.
Very short fight sequence, which is between shield and baton kind of style fight. Again, yeah, showing off of who's the better fighter.
A and C mark.
Part of the reason why this looks so good, and especially our characters look so good on and off screen, is because of the makeup department. So we're going to go in there and ask them a couple of questions about how they do what they do, what they feel and how they feel about being on the road versus being at unit base, all of that jazz. So follow me. Hello. You can. We'd love for you to sit. This is our amazing makeup department. How is it being on the road with all of your stuff?
Of course, hair and makeup is incredibly important. If anything is out of place, you're going to recognize it immediately in a show, right? So you need to have things properly looking like they exist in the world, and that includes your hair, your makeup, your costume design, all that kind of stuff.
I have to say we have the most incredible team, and so they've made all the transitions really seamless. Once you work in production, it's like being a girl guide. You just become really resourceful and very flexible, or else you're not going to make it. So once you set up your little house, then you're fine. We have a really incredible diverse.
I love how they're just like stuffed into the corner over here. Like they have all of their stuff just set up in this corner to try to make it work. Again, we're seeing Saul and Mara here getting made up. So Mara being the temple guard and Saul, of course, being Saul himself. And so we're seeing that here.
Cast. So, we're playing to the strengths and we're using, their natural hair textures and beard textures, but there definitely is kind of a biblical leitmotif running through it. So an emphasis on beards and facial hair, beautiful glowy skin. Mito, who's our captain, he has
So this is the captain. He's kind of the head of the temple guard. And so he is going to be, I'm sure, some main antagonist here throughout season 1 especially.
Most beautiful hair. Zoe is our the supervisor for hair and makeup, and she is incredible. And so she's really harnessed his curl to give it that beautiful movie star, yet still restrained, because the captain is such an incredible and complex character.
I think he's very assertive. His hair is on point. Very assertive character. Someone who doesn't mess around. When he speaks, we listen. There's a level of respect when you work for the force. No?
Absolutely.
There's a hierarchy, man.
We read the scripts and we're going from that. So we balance that and we look at the actor themselves and we kind of create, and that's where the design comes from. And then we talk to them and we kind of try and create a collaborative environment. And then of course there is some iron fist where I come in and I'm like, no, please don't cut your hair. This is how it's going.
I'm sure they go through the same thing with The Chosen too. I mean, knowing that the guys want to shave their beards off or they want to cut their hair a certain way. Like, you have to have these characters be consistent over these seasons. So I'm sure all that's baked in their contracts as well.
And then, of course, Paul is our director. Everything goes by him because it's his vision, part of their team's vision.
Super cool. Let's go back to that real fast.
His vision, part of their team's vision.
So we got Mara there. Kind of in, looks like some sort of locker room getting ready, maybe to go on an excursion with the temple guard. And we got the captain talking to his troops. You can see in the background there, really cool lighting, but we got a bunch of swords and shields and different things on the back wall there. Yeah, cool room. Cool shot. We got the fight scene here, the little fight scene that they were talking about. Yeah, I don't know. The weapons could look better. I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to judge it quite yet. I don't want to judge it quite yet, but yeah, I don't know. That's where we'll stop for now. We'll go to week 3 and week 4 maybe next week as we jump into some more background on Testament, talking about what's actually going on here. I am super excited about the show. I hope it succeeds. I hope it does well. And we'll kind of talk about it as we go through. So anyway, let me know your thoughts about Testament. If you like it, if you don't like it, what you thought about these characters. Are you getting to know some of these characters in the show? Are you excited about seeing them? I know some of you have already seen episode 1 of the show that are in the Angel Guild. And so let me know about that as well. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. No spoilers though, obviously, in the comments. We'd love to keep that a surprise. So anyway, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.